Well, hello there, my friends. It's your boy, Garrett J. White, the founder of Wake Up Warrior and also the CEO of DKW Styling.
You can't take that title anymore.
I can't take that. You're going to have to talk on that microphone because the last show we did, your audio was way too low.
Your audio
is too low. You need to step up to the mic, woman. How you feel about that when I say that? Step
Garrett
up
just
to the
told me
mic.
I have an indent in my head.
You do have an indent in your head. I have a giant caveman forehead, so like when it comes to like any type of like
I thought I had like makeup
natural
in the middle of my
features.
forehead, and I'm like looking at myself in the camera, and I'm like, God, why
Yeah.
won't that rub off? And he goes, Oh, that's your dent in your head.
you have a dent in your
So,
face, just so
That's
you
where
know.
we started off. I was like, Really?
Yeah,
You're-
we started there.
He's like, You didn't
And
know
that's-
that? I was like, I don't have a dent in my forehead. He goes, Yeah, when you go tanning, it shows up more. I was like,
But you didn't know this?
I have
You
a
really
dent
didn't know this?
in my forehead?
Did you really not know you have a dent in your
No,
forehead?
I don't think I have a dent.
It's not a bad dent.
It's like
It's
a
just like a
dimple.
little dent.
It's like a cute dimple.
When you're tan, when you go tanning or the spray tan, it makes it a little more
That
obvious.
is so weird. And now everyone's going to watch this video and they're like, oh,
No.
yeah, the dent.
No, it's not. Listen, the dentist. I'll lick the dent.
You'll like,
I literally lick the. I'll lick what? Everything, anything.
literally this morning, I'm 22 weeks pregnant and I'm like,
So hot.
no,
I mean, so
I
fucking
feel pretty
hot.
good, but
Can't even imagine how
I don't
you could
like
be hotter.
just put on like 20 pounds. People
Yeah.
tell me I'm little, but I'm normally really little, and then I put on a good like 45 pounds when I'm pregnant. So for me, I'm like, I just feel like massive. And I mean, I don't know, it's just weird. Like as a woman watching your body go through all the changes, like you're like be getting dressed in the mirror and you're like, wow, woo.
But you know what? Here's the deal.
But
Like
no,
I'm gonna
I
be
had-
straight with you.
This morning,
Okay.
I'm like getting in the shower and
Yeah.
he's still eyeballing me, and I'm like thinking like, more to love, I guess. I don't know.
Let's be serious about this for a second, though. Like, I mean, I'm looking at you, and I'm having two experiences. I'm having
my
experience
boobs
number one.
are huge.
No. I'm having one experience, which is like,
They're
oh my
so
God, this
big.
woman is carrying my child.
No, that's
And
for sure
no,
not what you were
I'm
thinking
no,
when
I'm
you-
having
when
no,
I
I
was
have.
naked.
It's not. No, it's a sense of like
Let me
this
tell you what you're thinking.
protection. No, that's one thing. Now, I'm getting to the second thought. I'm just talking about what the small thought was. The small thought
No.
was like, I'm seeing the belly, and I'm thinking, okay, this is exciting. Like there's a moment of excitement and
And then it
intimacy,
went straight to the penis.
and then it went straight to the penis. And then I was like, she's hot as shit. Her breasts are giant. I love it. Look at that
I
ass.
just had them reduced, and they're
I don't know why you did this.
Because I already have boobs, and then I had implants done when I was 18 to add more to the more boobs I had, and then I get pregnant. It's just one. It's just
Giant
a lot of boob. So.
It's good though. I let you like. Here's the thing. I get it. It's your body that's kind of going to the place, like whatever the place is. I like it. I'm not gonna. And you know what? The last couple of pregnancies,
I
like
just
I don't
say-
think I don't think I've been comfortable
It's
enough
good,
with
though.
myself to be in a place of just like, you're hot as shit. And so like I was kind of weird about it.
I
I was weird about it.
like I said,
was
I
weird about
feel
it.
good, but there's just like a lot of changes. You're like, whoa. But it's good to know that I'm still turning you on, I guess.
I mean, what does that feel
I
like?
don't
What's
know.
that feel like? Because you're feeling bad about yourself, but I'm thinking you're hot as shit and I'm turned
not
on.
feeling bad. I just am like I know it's like part of the process, but it's just like amazing to see what the body does. And like
Exactly my
like
point.
for me, like I'm pretty narrow, and it's like my hips widen and everything. I'm like, wow, that's impressive. Like my bones shift. It's impressive. So,
Well, listen. I mean, I still have the
Anyway.
image in my mind of you naked coming out of the shower today.
screenshot that. And,
Yeah, I did. I screenshot. I pushed my like the side of my temple,
All right,
and
where
I
are we
took a
going
screenshot.
with today's show?
I think we should talk about pregnant sex.
Pregnant sex?
Yeah, just having sex when you're married and
lack
pregnant. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna talk about what goes on. For a second, I'm gonna take a little side tangent.
You have been saying you wanted to bring this up for a while.
I'm gonna bring this up.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring this up on today's show.
We're all
This
gonna-
goes
we're all
out
gonna
to
cry a river for you.
This
Let's
goes
hear
out
it.
to all the men who have never been given a voice of what it is to be a man when your wife is pregnant.
Let's
and
hear it. I'm so excited.
okay, we're
Really-
gonna have
I'm really pumped.
we're gonna have a
When I'm
conversation
feeling
right now.
nauseous and gassy and my boobs are swollen,
Yeah,
I'm growing a human.
yes.
I'm excited to hear what you have to say. Please,
Exactly.
Please
This-
elaborate.
but you know what? This is exactly
does
the
your
problem.
penis hurt? Are
This-
your balls enlarged? You have slight tightenings, Braxton Hicks contractions. Garrett goes,
Oh.
what does it feel like when you have a contraction? I'm like a gentle kick to your nuts.
But you know what? Here's the thing, though. Like,
can I say-
Yeah, exactly. But this is the problem.
Okay, tell
All right, this is the problem. The
Tell
problem is that everybody knows exactly what you've just said, and so guys are thrown into this corner, and they're put into a little shoebox during pregnancy. and then the recovery after pregnancy, and then the trying to, do any of the stuff to get pregnant before, which is kind of weird. I mean, guys like the before get pregnant sex, but it's kind of weird because you're like, I know my wife's fucking the shit out of me right now, but I know it's not actually because she wants to fuck the shit out of me outside if she wants to make a baby. But I'm just, let the guys hear this. So there's a phase inside of this where you're super pumped as a guy. You're like, yes, I'm getting laid a lot right now. But the intention is to make a baby, which then changes the sexual game. And for 9 months and then like 3 or 4 months of recovery after, so basically a year, you go to a place of sacrifice, but a guy goes to a place of sacrifice too.
Sorry.
Exactly.
Keep going.
This is exactly why guys don't get a voice on this. Because everyone wants to talk about what's going on with the woman, which I appreciate.
Sorry. I'm crying. I'm laughing a little bit. Okay, keep going.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is why guys do not get a voice.
Oh, okay, sorry. I'm going to keep a straight face. I'm sorry. Tell him, Garrett. Tell him. Okay, sorry.
It's really insensitive. I can't even go there because I just trying to go there. The mockery and the level of mockery is so intense. But here's the thing I'm going to tell you. There is a lot of men who, when their wife is pregnant, have no idea what to do with all the sexual energy.
You know what I'll
say? And they don't know how to operate. And there are a lot of guys that cheat during pregnancy, and there's a lot of guys that struggle during this phase to figure out, what do I fucking do? Because I'm basically signing up. Let's have a baby, but I'm signing up to basically a year of. Okay, now I'm not saying the woman's not signing. There's books. What to expect when you're expecting. I need to fucking write a book called What to Expect When You're Expecting, Penis Edition. Like how to deal with your penis and how to deal with this game when your wife's pregnant.
But here's what I've noticed from my side is I feel like you're kind of, it's like you still are turned on, but then you're like, are you okay? Are you not okay? Can I approach you? Can I not approach you?
Yes. I don't approach you about this.
And I told Garrett, I was like, listen, it's fine. You can approach me. It just has to be before 8:30 p.m. Because like at 9, even if I am like ready to.
But let's be serious. When you're pregnant, the guy's not approaching. I just had this conversation with 3 different guys with pregnant wives right now, and every single guy concurred the same thing. They don't approach it, but they want to have sex, but they don't approach the topic of sex.
It's hard because I feel like sometimes you shut down a little bit. Like you're just like, I want to give her space, and then you shut down. And for women, we're kind of like, a lot of times we're like, well, he's asleep. Okay, good night. Like it's not like.
It's easy because I'm never asleep at 8:15, which means you're already in bed.
But there's been times like date nights and stuff where we're watching movies, like cuddling, and you're literally start snoring, and I'm like, all right, so I could just turn out the lights in the TV, or I could just wake him up. And sometimes I wake you up because I'm like, oh, I'm still awake.
True.
So
you've woken me up a couple times in 5 months. Yeah. Listen, I'm not even complaining at all. I'm just saying that there has been zero. I mean, where could you go for a reference? There's no blog posts on this. There's no podcast.
But it's weird.
There's no books for
you
guys.
Know what, though? It's weird.
What to listen. What to expect when you're expecting Penis Edition. This is the book I'm going to write.
I like that you give me space, but then sometimes I feel like I'm like, don't treat me like I'm a kid. Like, not a kid, but like, don't treat me like I'm pregnant. But then I'm like, oh, then part of me is like, no, relax. Enjoy it. Enjoy the pregnant perks of like people asking like, how are you feeling? Are you doing okay? And I have pretty easy pregnancy. So I find myself making stuff up like, oh, my back's killing me. I feel like really shitty, but really I'm like, It's,
do you really make up that you're injured?
No.
Like this really happened?
But you know what? I'm very non-dramatic. So I'm like the type of person that like, I'll be working. I'm like, ooh, and people are like, you're grabbing your belly a lot. Like I do hair and I'll be the salon. They're like, you're really, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, I just can't breathe for a second. It's feeling really tight. And they're like, why don't you sit down? I'm like, oh, I'm fine. Like that's like my personality. I'll be like, I'm fine. And then like it gets to the point where I'm like, oh yeah, I should sit down. And I'm like, oh, that's nice. So I have to like give myself permission to like, take a little more love when I'm pregnant, I guess. Like just be like, hey, embrace it. Like people are like, you're glowing. And immediately I want to be like, I'm not glowing. And like, I just have to be like, thank you, and like sit down and like, because I'm used to like go, go, go. And so I have to like listen to my body and be like, all right, it's good to like keep active, but I need to like chill out for a minute. And so for like when you come and approach me, like I like that you're kind of like, you're very like protective mode, which
But I don't, beyond that, I don't approach you. I don't approach you sexually. I'm not trying to hit on you. I tell you you're beautiful all the time. I say you turn me on. I say
But
that this is
well, I'm
this
telling
should be
you
a
from
good
my
thing.
perspective,
In
it's
the
like,
book,
it's a
what to
hard
expect
place-
when you're
it's a hard
expecting
place
penis
to be in
edition.
for a girl, especially like when you're growing a human
Yeah.
being, because you're like,
It's I get
you're like
it.
you're
I
kind
mean,
of
I
like
don't get
giving
it,
me
but-
my space, and I'm like, ooh, I don't know if I want to instigate. I literally, my pillow looks really good right now. But then you're like, well, I gotta instigate every now and again. But I feel like you don't instigate at all. So on
I
my
don't
side,
instigate at all.
I know I'm pregnant.
100% I've not
but I
instigated
still-
one time in 5
No,
months.
I'm telling you, I would like you to instigate.
You want me to instigate?
Yeah,
How do I instigate?
like you used to.
I just start going after it. I just make a move.
Yeah,
Hands get
same
wandering.
thing. Like if I'm like awake, usually like I don't know what Garrett does. Sometimes he's like brushing his teeth, and I think he says he's like brushing his teeth, but I swear to God, he's like on his phone.
No,
doing
I'm not. I
something.
brush my teeth. I
No,
have a routine.
I know you are. You're looking at surf videos.
I do watch surf videos on Instagram every night.
Are they real surf videos?
They're not
I'm
real
just
with me. Like I can't surf that good. But yes, I do. I
that
do
what
have
you-
a routine. I look at surf videos every night of guys surfing, doing crazy
I look
cool
at
shit.
shoes. Garrett looks at surf videos.
I look at surf videos, surf porn every night. So listen, so what you're telling me is you're telling me that I should actually
Yeah,
come after you.
I mean, not like
But you're telling me
But,
you
like,
also don't
gently.
feel good about yourself. Well, of course, gently, there's a baby in
well,
there.
no, like I don't feel good about myself, but that doesn't mean I don't want to have sex. The-
Okay.
the lights can be out. I don't.
What last time we had sex like a week ago, it was awesome.
Yeah.
It was great. I mean, it was actually very good. And, I didn't have any weird feelings about the baby. Some guys have a really hard time with this. Like, they literally cannot have. I know guys that
don't
once, like, they're at 6 months, they
No,
cannot
I
have
don't
sex at
ever
all because they're like, this
I don't
is
ever have
super
any
weird.
weird things. The only time it gets weird is literally like the last month because you're
Yeah, it's a
so
little
big
bit.
and
That's a
uncomfortable,
little.
and
That's
you're
a
just
little
like,
intense.
I don't know. And
It's
I don't know if you
intense.
know this, but every night I've gone into labor, I went into labor naturally with both my girls, and we had sex the night. Literally, I'm like overdue, and I'm like, babe, because I've heard sex induces labor, and I'm like, babe, you're gonna have to put one in for the team, and you're like, really? Are you sure? And that's like the one time that you're concerned too, and we're like,
I'm super worried.
'cause,
I'm like,
the
dude, I
baby's
don't know if we
overdue.
should do
like
this.
the baby's, yeah. But
I'm like,
you know
this
what?
is bad news.
Both
I'm gonna,
times it worked.
the baby
so,
happens.
like literally within an hour of like being over my due date and having sex, like I end up having contractions going into labor, and it works. So it worked for me, and maybe it was because I was overdue and ready anyways. But I swear, like.
But
kickstarts
seriously,
it.
like there is no written material in podcasts to deal with and guide a man through the emotional
Maybe there
hurricane
is.
that there is not. There is not. I have searched for this. It does not exist.
Oh.
Like because of you look at the mockery that came about. All of society
Come on, guys,
mocks
it was a
a
little
man.
funny. It was a little.
It
funny.
is funny. It is fun, and I was laughing too. That's what I'm like. I think it's funny what you're saying. And it does sound ridiculous for a man to even acknowledge that. Holy shit, this
So
is
how
kind of
could you
hard
make it
being
better?
married and like being a sexual
So
creator
how could you put on
and
your
a producer.
accountability pants and
I'm not saying
own
I
this?
have put on my accountability pants. That's what I'm telling
What
you.
are you gonna do different?
Have I been
Garrett?
pouty? I haven't been pouty in 5 months.
No, but you
not
but,
one
but-
time pouty.
No, and I get
Not
it's
one
like,
time.
I like
Not
the
one time
space.
dick mode about it.
I
Not-
like the
you-
space.
Can you
And I like
acknowledge?
the nurturing, and I like the
Exactly.
protective. But at the same time, I'm like, just
You want to be taken.
just
You want to be
ravage
fucked.
like sometimes.
Is this what you're wanting?
Don't. That's like unclassy. To say it
Okay,
that
you
way.
want to be made love.
No, that's worse. I want to be made love.
Do you want to make
I want
love
to be
me?
caressed.
You like to be caressed. I want to be intimate
No,
with
I'm just
you.
saying, like you can still. It's almost like I want like the pregnancy perks, but I still want to be treated like me. I want to be
Okay.
treated like have the perks of pregnancy, but I also want you to like act towards sex like I wasn't pregnant. You know what I mean?
Okay, so listen. This is
Can
the
you do
part where we
that?
move. Well, this is. Let me explain. I'm basically writing chapter 1 of what to expect when you're expecting penis edition. And here is the thing that happens. Your wife gets pregnant, and then all of a sudden this emotion comes up in you that is like comes from the gods. And it is a protecting, like nurturing, I will fuck anyone up who comes close to this, including your other children, by the way. It's like everyone is now second-class citizen to the spouse with the baby in the belly. So this thing births in you, and what it does is it completely suppresses the sexual drive between the man and the wife that he is curating
'Cause it
and
feels-
protecting.
does
But
it-
but here's the challenge.
Does it feel like you go into parenting mode because you're
No.
protecting?
It's not parenting. It's not parenting. It's a
Okay.
sense of like protecting. Like I love you. I will kill for you. I will protect you. But here's the challenge, though, is the sexual energy once away from that environment immediately is triggered by just about any female that walks the planet. that is not
Is it
pregnant.
more so
That is not
than usual?
pregnant.
Is it more so than usual? Because
But it's different because
Is
but
it?
it's different. Yes, because this energy rises in a guy
Where
to
you
protect,
feel-
which it
so
overwhelms
it
this
brings
sexual
in,
drive.
So it brings in more of like your manliness. So
No,
like
it brings in your manliness to protect.
right. So then any girl that walks by with boobs, you're excited
You
about?
get triggered 10 times more sensitive to
Really?
it. Yes.
Is it because you're not getting laid as much?
Yes. And
That's
because
probably the real reason.
and because the sexual energy is like being suppressed inside of the relationship where you're protecting.
Is that truth, or is it just because you're not getting laid as often?
I'm sure
Be
it's
honest.
both. I'm sure it's both. You have
really
a
think it's
rising
both?
Yes, you have a rising
your
energy.
theory.
It's a great theory. It's chapter 1 in What to Expect When Expecting Penis Edition.
I'm excited for the launch of your first penis book.
Like, I'm serious. Like, I was having a talk with, I was walking with my business partner, one of my executives this morning. His wife is pregnant, and I'm having a conversation with him. I'm talking with another guy whose wife is pregnant 2 days ago. I'm talking with another guy whose wife's pregnant like 4 days ago. And I'm like, okay, listen, I'm gonna play something out here. Let me play out a scenario for you. Do you experience these feelings? And I explained the dichotomy, the rise of the protecting guardian, the decline of the sexual drive towards your wife,
we get it.
and then the trigger outside. But there's no idea. A guy doesn't know what to do with this.
I know. I basically feel like you have one chapter of your book.
I know. I've got chapter 2,
feel
which
like we
is
should
what I've
move
done.
on.
No, what I've done with this. Chapter 2 is amazing.
We're circling around.
No,
the same
we're not
thing.
circling. Chapter 2 is amazing. Do you know what chapter 2 is?
What's 2?
Make a fucking decision. And that is why when you got out of the shower, I look at you and I have chosen to channel my sexual energy, although triggered all over the place. I channel it towards my beautiful, gorgeous, pregnant wife. It's a decision. Chapter 2 is the penis power is a decision.
Is there any form,
even though
is
you're
there
under
any
suppression.
form of guilt for men, like when you feel like
Sexually drawn to another woman?
Yes. Like
Yes.
when you're like, oh my God,
No.
my wife's pregnant. Like I can't feel like this. Like and you like, is there
For
any
sure.
guilt?
For sure. Well, there's guilt if you're thinking about
more
it.
if you're entertaining it?
If you entertain it, there's guilt. If you get triggered by it, you're like, oh my God, shit. And then you just turn and you go. But like a lot of guys entertain it. They entertain this shit when they're
Everybody
pregnant.
entertains it, male, female.
I know, but when your wife is pregnant, it's even easier to entertain it. I don't entertain it. I've made I've made a decision. So I'm in this weird place, which I can't figure out either, which I'm like, I'm actually okay. Like I don't have any weird, it could be that I'm 43 though.
You've mellowed out. It's been good.
I'm not 20, 23. I'm not 30 years old. I'm not 35. I'm 43 years old. So maybe it's different when you're in your 40s.
You're 42.
I'm going to have to write 3 editions of this book. What to expect when you're expecting penis edition for your 20s, which I've got no answers for them.
This sounds
What
like an
to
awesome
expect
book.
when you're
Is this a
expecting penis
bestseller?
edition for
Super
men
excited.
in your 30s, which I got no answer for you, but I do have some for your 40s.
My stomach hurts just talking about this. Are we done talking about? I'm trying to have some empathy, but mid,
You're trying to.
mid my back hurting and my
I'm
boobs
trying
hurting,
to.
I'm like,
I know.
what
This is
else?
why it's so bad. This is why the guy gets backed into the corner where he's just like, I have no leg to stand on right here. So you feel weird because you're like, I sound like a little bitch right now. I can't whine about this. I don't have to push a pumpkin out of my penis here in 9 months.
okay, so I'm giving you. I've heard the same thing for the last 15 minutes. So I'm giving you a solution. Okay.
What is the solution?
You're saying you get like triggered by anything that walks by. You say you're feeling protective. So I'm going to give you a challenge.
I like it. Give me the
Okay, my
challenge. Here it goes. Chapter
my
3.
challenge is, I like the pregnant perks. I like
Okay.
if I'm like, say, babe, I feel like shit, I'm going to bed. That's a definite
That's a
no. That's a clear sign of like
That's a
it's
clear-
not going to happen.
that's a clear
If
signal.
I'm like, I'm bloated and pretty gassy. That's also a no. My boobs hurt really, really bad. That could be a yes.
Could be yes.
That could be a yes. If that's the only thing I say, I'm
Does
like,
my
man, my
boobs
boobs
hurt?
hurt really bad. Like I might.
And I say, would you like some therapy?
No. If that's the only thing I say, it could be a yes. So
Okay.
it's a no with like I feel like shit, I feel gassy, I think I'm gonna puke, or if I'm just snoring. Those are all no's. Clear signs of definitely not gonna happen tonight.
Okay.
So my
What's the
challenge
challenge?
to you.
You've given me all the clear signs of what the challenge
Yes,
does
my
not
challenge
entail.
to you is
Now what is the
my
challenge?
challenge to you is like just like before I was pregnant, there's some nights I'm just like laying there, I'm not asleep, and I'm like, all right, you gonna
Make a move.
what do you do? And you know what you do? Sometimes I'll
What
be
do I
like,
do?
we have this calm app for our girls, and it's like we just discovered it, and it's like You just put on meditation. It like guides them through meditation. And my
They love
oldest
it.
daughter has a little bit of anxiety. So
Little
she's
bit,
actually,
a lot of it.
a lot of it. But she's actually harder to put to bed than like my 7-year-old's like, bye mom, I want to go to bed. I'm like, love you, good night, brush your teeth, see you later.
Yeah, she's
So
like
she's
straight
pretty
from
good.
the
But
gods.
I found this
Divine.
calm app, and it seems to help. And so part of our like sexual frustration for so long with kids is like my daughter's 12, and we still would have to like go in and tickle her back for 15 minutes to get her anxiety to calm down. And so it would get to this point where I'm very like, hey, fend for yourself, good night, mom's going to bed. And Garrett got in the habit of like going in. I think you genuinely like spending time with him and stuff. And sometimes it would end in a battle, and I'd be like, oh my God. So my goal is like, let's put on the Calm app. Like, if you know there's a window, kind of like before I was pregnant, like if you know
Yeah.
there's a window, like
Yeah.
be like, Bailey, you're fine. Here's the Calm app. Love you. Good night. Bye-bye.
She asked for 9 hugs.
And then I know, it's fine. And then
Okay.
don't go dick around with surf videos and brush your teeth for 15 minutes and I don't know what you're doing in there. Are you exfoliating? To go with your chapter 2?
No, but I'll give you exactly my routine. I go in, I use the clear and whatever, the orange face soap that you converted me
Okay.
to like 18 years ago.
Up your game.
I wash my face. I take out my denture because I still have one.
I know.
I put it in the thing. I put the pill
Okay,
in.
I
I
don't
brush
care
my
really what you
teeth.
do.
I take a piss.
We have separate bathrooms.
I do my thing. I what else do I do?
I know.
I strip down to my boxers.
You are
And-
so routine. Like
and then I come into the room, and I'm not lying. I am watching surf videos,
I know, but listen.
and I'm excited about
I
watching
need you
the
to
surf
speed it
videos.
up. Like you are
They're
so
great.
routine, and that's great.
Yes.
I get so tired. I have to like force myself like to barely like take my mascara off and brush my teeth. I'm like,
I can't
screw
even
the
do
routine.
that. I
Like,
can't do that. I can't go.
I
I'm like
know.
Ruby. I can't go to
there's
bed.
some nights I'm like, I
can't
didn't
do
brush
it.
my teeth.
Yeah, I
don't
can't
care.
do that.
And then there's some nights I'm like, I have makeup all over. I don't care.
If I'm sleeping for 15 minutes, I have to do
Yeah,
it.
no, I cannot do it. Yeah, Ruby's so cute. We're in Hawaii, and Garrett's not there. I took my girls to Hawaii. This is off topic. And she's literally like, she kept falling asleep because the time's different. And anyways, she'd wake up every night at like 2 a.m. and be like, Mom, I didn't brush my teeth and I don't have my retainer in, because she had braces really little and they already got them off. And I'm like, Ruby, I'm like asleep. I'm like, Ruby, it's okay. She's like, no. She's like panicking because she doesn't have a routine or her retainer in. Then my
yes.
other daughter is like, I'm like, Bailey, please brush your teeth before to go to bed. She's like, no. And
She like doesn't brush her
she
teeth for
doesn't
5
care.
days.
I mean, I'm not that bad, but I'm just saying that it's just funny how Ruby is more like me, but she's so routine like
Yes,
you.
yes.
And then Bailey's like you,
Yes.
but then she's also like me, where she's like, I don't care.
So we have this. All right. So here's the deal. So
Okay,
what
so
you're
that was my
telling
challenge,
me,
is, like,
your challenge is to make a move on you.
Just make a move, pretend like I'm not pregnant, like unless I give you some clear signs, or I'm like, babe, I'm really not feeling good. Like, just make a little bit of an effort.
How
to be,
many
like,
times a
less
week
sensitive.
should I make the
Because
move?
I feel like you maybe feel weird. Like I was like, does he just feel weird like having
And-
sex because I'm pregnant? I don't know. I mean, sure, we might be.
No, I'll have sex
We're
with
gonna
us.
be limited on positions.
No, I have
but
no problem
still.
with that. I don't have a problem with having sex while we're pregnant. What I do have a problem with is this thing that like the gods place in my soul of, you are the protector, you are the guardian, you shall hold the space of safety for the queen as she raises this child. And then there's the societal thing of like, listen, asshole, you have no leg to stand on. You're not the one whose body's getting jacked and going to spend 12 to 18 months
I
in
thought it
recovery.
was maybe rough for guys because
No, there's all of society does not give you any credit at all as a man for what it is to be a man and with a pregnant woman.
It's good to know that
It's just like, shut up, pussy, and just deal with
it's
it.
good
And you're
to
like,
know that
okay,
you're like, that's still hot. She's
you are still hot.
hot.
You were so hot coming out of the shower today. I'm not gonna lie to you.
But is it like okay? Never mind.
No, I was just as turned on with that as I was any other time that you've come out of the shower when you were not pregnant.
Nice. I was reading.
You look fucking great.
I was reading that
okay.
book, Wash Your Face. I wasn't
Yes.
reading. I was listening to it. And
Yes.
she was like talking about how like she was like young Christian married, like wasn't like super comfortable with herself, and you know
Which
she
is pretty much all young Christian
right.
married.
So she's talking about like having sex, and she's like, I was like all worried. Is he looking at this and that and that? She's like, you know what guys think when you're having sex? They think boobies. I was like, oh my god.
I actually don't
She's
think
like,
boobies.
She's like, they don't care if your bucket's big, if your bucket's small, if they. She's like, they don't care. They literally are just thinking boobies. I'm like, oh my god.
I think the Christian
was
culture
laughing.
tends to breed men to think about boobies. I think it's because boobs may be a little more like, safe ground to play with instead of having sex. So maybe that's the deal. I'm not. I love your breasts, but I'm like more about. I'm more
I
about
don't
the
know.
caboose. More about the caboose,
Well,
babe.
you're in luck right now.
Yes,
so.
I am.
All right.
All
Let's
right,
wrap it up.
So what this is like our official announcement.
We added zero value for you today, but we'd like you to tune into Garrett's penis book that comes out late next year.
It's not called the penis book.
I know,
it's
I
called
don't know
What
what
to
it's-
Expect When Expecting Penis Edition.
It's exciting.
I'm going to do a co-authored book with these guys. I guarantee they will not fucking do this. So I'm going to have to call this like a different title. It's going to be The Dark Side of Pregnancy. The the pain of having a penis.
Garrett goes today Garrett goes today. He goes, "Ooh, she kicked," and he goes, "What does that feel like?" I'm like, feels like a baby inside you growing and kicking." And he's like, "Oh, that's cool."
You just knocked my live stream over. That was awesome. So
there's really no way to describe it. It's not when you start to feel the baby move. It's not like you're like, "Ooh, it feels like gas or heartburn." You're like, it literally feels like a little human.
It feels like a human just kicked
doot,
you.
Doot, doot. You're like, "Ooh."
Which, as a guy, feels super weird. Which,
it
like,
sounds weird, but it feels exactly
okay,
like that.
okay.
There's no other descriptive
There's no other
words.
description.
No.
So, like, here.
Can you imagine if you ate
Yeah.
a hamburger? You're like, that's my hamburger shooting down one side of my stomach. No, it's a baby.
Oh, I don't know. I think I sit back in just complete fascination with the whole thing. I think when we go to the baby ultrasound, I'm sitting there watching this thing, and I look at you and I'm like, holy shit, she's amazing. How does she do this? Then I look at the TV screen and they're doing the scan, and I can see the baby, and she waves at us, and I'm like, holy shit, there's a baby in there. Like, it's so crazy that like an entire, which was probably max effort, 3 minutes of participation on my side, maybe 5.
Can I tell him the story?
And this thing happens.
Can I tell him the story
You
of
can.
like, I think we've said this
I don't
on
even
some
know
of
what it
our
is,
other
but you should tell the
podcasts, but I'm
story.
just going to share it. Like, Garrett's so animated and like so pumped, and he's like, "Wow!" Like he's always like, "Yeah!" And so I go into labor with my second baby, and
shit.
like
I'm not doing this on this
I
labor,
know.
though. I'm committed
I'll just
to
share
not.
the story because it's funny. So we get to the hospital, and I'm like, "Ooh, yeah, they're getting pretty bad." And they're like, "Yeah, you're at a 7. Like, do you want to get an epidural now?" It's like now, or we don't. Like, he's got a few other girls in line, and I was like, "No, I think." And then I'm like, "Oh, yep, nope, we're definitely gonna do an epidural," because I was trying to see how long I could go, and literally, the contractions hurt so bad that it like wraps around your whole back and your body, and you want to like throw up and freeze and curl in a ball and so many things all at once. It's a great feeling. And I'm like, okay, let's do the epidural.
And as a guy, you're sitting there and you're like, I absolutely am worthless as tits on a bull right now.
Well,
I got
no,
nothing to do. And I made my
it's
situation
fine.
worse. I became worse than tits on a bull.
So
Continue.
Garrett had a Red Bull. It was like 12, because I went into labor at like 12 at night, and he's like, okay, tonight's the night. And he like literally is like sipping a Red Bull while driving me to the hospital. And the
I'm super
anesthesiologist comes in, and I'm like bearing down, like mid-contraction, needle in my back, and all of a sudden, literally a tray flies. And we're like, what? And we hear this bam, like this thud, and a whole cart like falls over. Garrett is stone cold on the floor. The fucker passed out. And I'm like turning, what is going on? And I'm like, oh shit.
Oh,
He
it was bad.
passed out.
It was bad.
And he
was bad.
quickly came to.
Oh,
and
I came to your mother.
My mom was there. She's like, are you okay? They wanted to take him to the ER, and I was like, he's fine. Is
You
that
know why
blood?
we didn't
Just
take him
mop
to
it
ER?
up.
Because that was 8 years ago. And 8 years ago, I don't think we
didn't
had
have
insurance.
We didn't have insurance.
We didn't have
and
insurance 8 years ago. So I was
Yeah.
freaking out. I'm going, fuck. You cannot take me to the emergency room.
we
All I
literally
could think
paid-
about is that's
we
like
literally paid
$10,000.
cash just to have the baby. Like,
Yes.
And we
had no insurance.
Had barely enough money to pay to have a baby, so that was fun.
So I'm laying there in a bed. They bring me in a bed. I'm lying there
but it
next
was
to my
funny 'cause,
wife,
like,
and she's
after,
pregnant.
I'm numb at that point. So then he's in a stretcher next to me, a bed, and we're laughing at that point, holding hands, and we got a picture. So
Oh,
that was
it
fun.
pretty much demonstrated my weakness. I mean, it was just,
I
it
think
was
it's
ridiculous.
a good story.
It is a great story.
It's a good. And then when they go
They
to
put me
cut-
in the corner in
yeah,
timeout.
when I'm
Literally,
when
they
I'm
put
pushing
me in the
and they
corner.
go to cut the umbilical cord, Garrett's like wanting to see, and the doctor, who's like the sweetest guy ever, he's like, "You sit down." No, you sit down. I was like, oh, but that room had a mirror and you could see it. But
Yeah, I was in a bad place. I literally couldn't cut the umbilical cord because I literally was in a bad place. I was going to pass out
You're
again.
kind of weak with blood,
Yeah, I'm
which
not
is
very good
weird
with it.
because you've had lots of surgeries and.
Yeah.
But I guess it's different when you see it on somebody else.
The good news is I don't have a problem plunging a toilet because this is one of my professions at our house
I
is
don't
dealing
plunge
with
toilets.
I know. Neither do our daughters, and my other daughters use way too much goddamn toilet paper and plunge the toilet. So I'm dealing with shit all the time, but blood for whatever reason and needles in the back, I just don't
I just get
handle it
grossed
well.
out by toilet water possibly splashing up and getting me.
It does splash up and
I
get
know,
you. I've had treacherous moments we'll save for another show. We'll just call it the shitty side of
The
being
dirty
a father.
side of.
So literally, I am going to write a book. I don't know when it is. I'm taking notes along the journey here with these 5 months of pregnancy. I literally
Let's
have
co-write a book together.
No, there's too many books that have been written by women
right.
about pregnancy. Everybody, there's
You
like
can have your
10,000 books about being pregnant. What to expect when you're expecting? How to be a great mom? How
Belly laughs.
Nobody has got belly laughs.
Penis laughs.
No, exactly.
Swift,
Penis
swift
laughs.
kick to the balls.
Swift
laughs.
kick. You know what the title of the book's going to be? Can you push a pumpkin out of your penis? That will be the title, but the penis will be like, put some
So
asterisks
many
in
good titles.
there.
I'm just excited for the content.
And I'm going to
that
write a
comes
book
out.
just for guys about, okay, how do you not become a dickhead during the 18 months
Yeah,
of your
'cause
wife's
even if you're
metamorphosis?
feeling like a dickhead, you can't act like a dickhead.
And you don't get to give yourself permission to wander eyes around the place. So what do you do during this phase?
you
Because this has
imagine?
been pure glorious
You're already
for me.
like pregnant and not feeling good, and then you're like walking with your husband, and he like looks at another chick. Wouldn't you want to just like slap him?
Exactly. And this is happening a lot, by the way. This is happening a lot. This is happening to a lot of men. They do not, as much as like we're joking around about this, I swear to God, this is an issue. This is an issue, and men
Well,
do not have guidance. I am going to
You
write.
need to talk to some of your guys. That
We have been. I have been. I've already been in conversation. Right now, inside of the Wake Up Warrior Brotherhood, we've determined somewhere around 13 to 15 men whose wives are pregnant right now. And inside of that, we're gathering data and we're testing the what to expect when you
say
expect
13 to
it
15,
penis
do you
edition.
mean Jeff?
No, I don't mean
Does
Jeff.
Jeff ever talk about Jeff? Does it? So Garrett's like right hand man. Jeff, his wife is pregnant and literally due like a week before me.
She has baby. This is baby 3 coming, which
I'm
is like,
having baby
but they have
3.
Noah, which is like 3.
Yeah.
They have Avery, which
No,
is
but
like
does
1,
he ever?
and then they have
talk
the
to,
newborn.
Do you
coming.
ever talk to him about it, or you
We
guys?
just talked about it on the walk and dog this morning.
There you go. All right, let's wrap it up.
All right, we're wrapping
back
this
hurts
show up.
from this
All right,
chair.
this back hurts. We're out of here. All of our live stream friends, thank you so much for being here. You guys got to see. Oh my God! Please post that pic. People are asking for you to post the pic of me
a good
passed out with you next to you in a hotel in a hospital room. All right, dude. All right.
right,
Listen.
and-
So here's the deal. We're wrapping this up. Here's the deal. The final thought I'm going to give you is this, right? There's always another side of the equation. Inside the game of pregnancy and inside the game of marriage, not being pregnant, there's always a position as a man that you've got a decision on how you choose to stand, right? It doesn't matter what the situation is. And it took me a long fucking time. We've been together for
I thought you were gonna
18
say
years.
something else.
18. What did you think I was going to say?
You're like, there's always a position that works. I was like, there probably is.
I like that your mind's going there right now, which means tonight's going to end up well after date night.
We better get home.
We better get home. You got a 15-minute window, and I only need 3 minutes, so we're good to go.
Oh, don't sell yourself short.
All right,
I
5.
can go at least 5.
All right, 5 minutes. We got 5 minutes out of the 15 documented over to the corner with no passing out.
You know what?
What?
Was fun is
What?
the other day our kids were upstairs watching a movie. And it was only like 9, and I was
We
like,
had sex in the guest room.
because I was like, this
That
is
was awesome.
and I was like, you know what?
That was a great idea. It was your
Yeah,
idea.
because I was like, they're entertained. We're entertained.
And basically, we were like,
we
we were
only
guests
need
in our
10
own home.
minutes, and then
We were guests in our own
and it
home.
was
great.
fine.
It was awesome.
it's like sneaky.
We should go down and sneak in a guest room right now. Have the nanny continue to watch the children.
Oh no.
All right, we're out of here. This show is over. I have no idea if you're getting any value outside of this, but I tell you what, I'm going to write a book.
Hopefully you got a laugh.
It will come out in
All right.
2020. It's going to be for men who are facing the game of
Okay,
pregnancy.
so we do a podcast once a week called Date Your Wife.
Yes.
Usually they
That's
tend
what they've been listening
Yes.
to.
So this one was a little more funny. We try to add value. Tune in every Tuesday as we wrap this show up. You can catch a repeat at dateyourwifenow.com, or you can also see a repeat on my blog at dkwstyling.com.
This podcast is also available inside of iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Spotify, and you can get access to it there every single week, as well as a supplemental show that I do every single day, 20 minutes a day, called Warrior on Fire, available in the same platforms. Thanks so much for being here. We're out of here. Date night is coming to conclusion. I've got 15 minutes to get her home to the guest room and take care of business. That I am committed to doing. For the rest of you, have a great night, and we look forward to talking to you next week.